Moving on to the next topic. Um, Johnny Manziel of the Cleveland Browns gets benched for Josh McCown. Uh,
Bro, that man had a great game last week.
Great old Josh.
Josh or Johnny?
Johnny.
I mean,
Don't disrespect Josh.
I was,
Disrespect
Johnny.
Josh.
That man, what's it called? Beat the Tennessee Titans 28-14.
yeah. It's kind of awkward because you
But
have two sides going one either going one way or excuse y'all. Oh, y'all, we have a phone call.
Hello, this is KBR
Hello?
Sports.
Yes, it's KBR Sports. How can you help you?
This is who, I'm sorry?
KBR Sports.
KBR? This is not WODU?
This is
It is WODU, but the show is KBR Sports is on right now.
So is there nobody in the main office? I don't want to tie up your radio line.
Nah.
All right, well, this is Detective Yanka, ODU PD.
Uh-huh.
I'm curious what time the apocalypse is slated to be filling in.
I'm not
We
sure.
have no idea.
You're not sure? You're listed as one of the hosters of the event and you don't know?
Of the what?
WODU is listed as a sponsor of the event.
But
Oh
we're
no.
not.
Yeah, we're not we don't manage WODU. We're just our own radio show that, does our show here.
Okay. Do you have a phone number for somebody who works for WODU?
Yeah. Hold on, please.
Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. Are you there?
I'm here.
All right. The number is 703
Mm-hmm.
297 9761.
And who is this?
Brendan Abbott.
This is the front office.
Yeah, it's it's the WODU radio station.
Front office. There's no number on the door.
Brendan
Abbott.
ABBOT?
ABBAN.
Got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well then.
That was awkward.
That was so awkward, y'all.
Right, he called right in the middle of our show.
Right in the middle.
I'm not even talking about sports.
Right?
Like,
I thought he was about to get some input in.
We could have got a nice little. Oh, KBR Sports, we're here. We're ready. Let's get to talking.
I don't know what I was saying. We're talking about somebody named Johnny.
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, somebody named Johnny.
What in the world?
I didn't even get the officer's name. But anyway, yeah, Johnny Manziel getting benched for Josh McCown, who under the Bucks was 1-10. His leaders while he's playing for the Bucks at the start, he was one of 10 or 1-10, 1 win and 10 losses. Y'all, how do you think this benefits Johnny? Do you think this benefits the Cleveland Browns team? What do y'all think of for this? How this benching is going to affect the organization, Johnny, and the rest of the team? Carla, let's start off with you.
Didn't Johnny McCown just come off like a concussion or something?
Josh?
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah, he did.
Just came off a concussion, and they're gonna start him in this next game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, against the Raiders, even the Raiders, you gotta put Johnny Manziel in. Josh McCown.
Okay.
Josh McCown he's not too good of a QB. And not to mention he just came off a concussion injury. They need to definitely sit him for a little bit longer, see how Johnny Manziel is gonna play. I mean, Mike Patino's decision to start Josh McCown, I don't think was a very smart one because that man's not all that good. They lost their first game, 31-10.
Mm-hmm.
And with Josh McCown starting, I mean, Johnny Manziel got in the game, but he did have 2 fumbles. He did have 2 fumbles last week. It's right now it's kind of wishy-washy because Josh McCown, he's not performing at the level they need him to perform. And Johnny Manziel is fumbling the ball.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. They need to start Johnny Manziel over Josh McCown.
Josh, the greatness McCrown. Give that man a
No.
crown.
Nope.
We're changing his name, but not maybe for real. Maybe for real. Nah, like, see, I understand where Cleveland's coming from. They feel like since Johnny Manziel's what 22, 23,
Mhm.
that he still has plenty of years to learn from sitting on the bench and watching. Even though he got them to win, it's like it's only one game. Basically, Josh McCown is 0-1, Manziel is 1-0, right?
Mhm.
So they're looking at it like Josh McCown probably could have won that game as well. So I mean, you can't just because he had a concussion like completely bench him just because Johnny Manziel won. He did what he was expected to do as a quarterback, is win the game.
Mhm.
So they feel like just because he won the game, he doesn't need to start still. So they're still trying to make him learn, and not going to punish somebody for getting a concussion.
Yeah.
Now I understand like if he had one of those long concussions where he was out for 4, 5, 6 games, and Johnny Manziel went on like a win streak or won
Yeah.
over 500, then you keep him starting. But as of right now, I feel like
The Drew Bledsoe effect.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like you just gotta Johnny Manziel gotta ride it out, stay mature, stay professional, and just ride it out. His time will come.
I mean, he is staying professional.
But okay, so Kyler, why didn't you think that? What do you think they gained from Johnny starting over Josh? Like, why did you think Johnny should have? They made a mistake by benching Johnny.
They definitely have a more effective QB. I mean, this man completed 8 of 15 passes for 172 yards, so he was definitely passing over 500. So his efficiency is looking a whole lot better than Josh McCown. And I mean, he did have the fumbles, and he definitely need to. He has to improve his ball security. So it's just looking like a better opportunity to win on Johnny Manziel's part.
Are you for the team? It's a better opportunity to win.
Well, I'm just Johnny Manziel will provide more points. Put it like that.
But but Johnny Manziel isn't fully accolade or accustomed to the offensive scheme that the team runs. And like you did say, he is fumble prone. He does fumble a lot. And even in that first game against the Jets, he threw one touchdown, he threw an interception. Josh McCown led the team 90 yards to the end zone before his concussion, before he got hit. He was 5 of 8 on that drive against the Jets defense. So I mean,
Oh yeah, that Jets defense.
yeah, you know what I mean? The same Jets defense that gave um Andrew Luck the same a lot of problems. So if you look at it this way, like what about the veterans on the team? Because Johnny Manziel is still a future product. He's a product that's in the works. You know what I mean? He's what Aaron Rodgers was sitting behind Brett Favre. Granted, Josh McCown is no Brett Favre, but you sit Johnny Manziel behind a veteran that's willing to teach him the ropes. So you say he gives them a better chance to win, but there might be a lot of players on that team that would debate with you that Josh McCown has a better chance because he's more, used to the NFL speed. He knows the offense better. He knows the ins and outs of the NFL a lot better than Johnny does. I mean, I mean, him himself, he's a on any other team, maybe like on a team like the Packers or I mean, granted, I'm listening I just listed one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but on another team, Josh McCown might be a bench player, but Johnny's still a player that's getting used to the speed of everything. So, and then if you think he gives the team a better chance to win, but why would you think he gives the team a better chance to win when you have a quarterback that is more used to NFL speed, is proven that he could play on this level? Johnny's had like a couple of great games, but he's also had a couple of very bad ones. So why do you think Johnny just gives them more of a chance to win? And what would you tell to a veteran like someone on the team? If a Ray Lewis was on that team and he's playing for his last season and he's sitting there, he's like, you know what? Like if they give out the announcement, hey, Johnny's gonna start over Josh now, and Josh technically never lost his job. He never lost his job. He just got a concussion. He never played his way out of his job. And they tell him, hey, we're starting Johnny now. Ray Lewis is gonna be like, well, I mean, there's still, we still have a good 75% of the season left, 80% of the season left to play, and you're starting a guy that hasn't fully proven himself worthy to play on this level. Why do you think he gives them a better chance to win than Josh?
To the veterans thing, I understand where you're coming from. To like have him like veterans have more, definitely have more experience, and Johnny Manziel should definitely learn from. I just want to see Johnny Manziel, like I want to see him out there, playing like at the high level he was playing last week.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see them like give him that kind of trust to be able to lead the offense like that.
Mm-hmm.
I understand Josh McCown. Yeah, he's a veteran. QB. He's the he had more experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think they should give Johnny Manziel just a little bit of shine for a couple more games. I mean, like if they don't win against the Raiders, then definitely like try it and like give Johnny Manziel a chance.
Okay.
But
I'm-
before you go, Bernie,
Okay.
if you give continue to let Johnny Manziel play, and he plays bad. So let's say, okay, so he plays the next 4 or 5 games. He loses all 4. He's shut down for the rest of the season and possibly next season. But now, if Josh McCown, other way around, he gets shut down. So I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it in a completely different aspect than the Cleveland Browns is looking.
I'm thinking about it like a Mark Sanchez situation, like when he was playing for the Jets.
Like what? So like,
Mark Sanchez wasn't doing all that well.
but Mark Sanchez never really got like sat down really.
No, yeah, he never got set down. I'm just thinking just like him just not playing that well. And like if he did get set down and if like Tim Tebow came out to play, that would be horrible.
But neither one of those quarterbacks are like those two. I just like Mark Sanchez did something though. Mark Sanchez did something.
Did something.
They made it to the AFC Championship twice, back to back season.
To whatchamacallit, to what last year before last year? It was just the last past season.
You talking about his past couple seasons with the Jets?
Yeah.
Well, technically, then he still didn't get benched though, did he?
Nah,
Brendan?
he didn't get benched.
He continued playing. It's gonna be different because the way they treat Manziel now is nothing compared to how the Jets treated Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez could play as bad as he wanted to. He's still gonna get the start.
He was still gonna get the start no matter what.
Johnny Manziel, they're gonna bench. He's gonna lose the experience. His confidence level is gonna go down, and he's gonna be sitting there behind an awful Josh McCown who can play just as bad. But since Johnny Manziel already messed it up at the beginning, he's not gonna get a chance to shine anymore. So I mean, I feel like you continue to let him learn, and hopefully he doesn't make those. By learning and see what Josh McCown does, he learns to avoid those mistakes where he doesn't get benched for the season.
So, Khaled, you think it would be good for them to start Johnny Manziel this week against the Raiders, next week against the Chargers, the week after against the Ravens, the week after against the Broncos, the week after that against the Rams, the week after that against the Cardinals, after that against the Bengals, then the Steelers, then the Ravens, then the Bengals, then the 49ers, then the Seahawks, then the Chiefs, then the Steelers again. So you think it's better for them to throw Johnny Manziel out there against, a good amount of playoff teams on this list, apart from, the Raiders and the Chargers from this past season, they both didn't make the playoff. But apart from those two teams, you think it's good to throw Johnny Manziel out there against the rest of pretty much the AFC and pretty much the rest of the NFC West, because you play the Rams, the Cardinals, the 49ers, and the Seahawks, which is all stout defenses. You think it's good to play inexperienced quarterback against those teams rather than an experienced veteran like Josh McCown?
I'd say against the Chargers, he should start just to like see where he's at to play. Who he plays week after that?
The Broncos.
The Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see, like he played the Chargers to see like
where actually the Ravens.
Oh, the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, they gonna lose that. Just to see where he's like his mindset is and like his skill, his level of play is like during that game.
But you don't think he would gain more from sitting behind Josh McCown, watching him play against the Raiders, Chargers?
I'd say he learned more definitely playing, sitting behind him and against like the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Broncos, whatever. But like, just give him just a little bit of experience.
But why would you throw him out against the top teams in the NFL and then let him get feasted upon? Because those are some of the best teams that he's going to be going against. The Ravens aren't no slouches. The Broncos aren't slouches.
No, I said let him sit behind Josh McCown. And learn during those games.
But I'm saying, you know what it does to a quarterback's confidence when you keep putting in, pulling out, pulling him in, putting him in, putting him out. Especially when Josh McCown is healthy now, you're gonna keep putting Johnny in, pulling him out, putting him in, and putting him out. It's like if you're gonna put him in at some point, you just keep him in. You just keep pulling him out. I mean, he's not like a hot plate that you just use when it's good and ready. I mean, he has confidence, and he has confidence too. He has emotions, and you just keep putting him in and yanking him. I mean, he's gonna his confidence in himself is gonna start to digress. I mean, he's been he's a lot more humble than he was his first season, but I mean, the boy still. I mean, you still have to have confidence to play on the NFL level. And if you keep benching a guy for another dude that isn't exactly the best quarterback, but he's a veteran. He's gonna start wondering, like, what am I doing wrong that I keep getting benched? I mean, in this case, Josh McCown never lost his job. So if they say, hey, Johnny, we're gonna bench you because Josh is healthy now, he can play. He's more understanding of it than if you bench him in week 5 against the Ravens for no reason, just because you're playing the Ravens, instead of when you just bench him right away after Josh's return.
I say, like, let's see how the next 2 games play out for Josh McCown, and if those like go well, then definitely keep Josh McCown and let Johnny Manziel learn from him. And if not, then give Johnny a chance.
All right then.